couldn't be average, I couldn't be okay, I couldn't be late, I couldn't complain, I couldn't say no. Now I do.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I gotta take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight.
Things have gotten really bad for Skip Bayless ever since the end of his career at Fox Sports, and now a brand new lawsuit seems to be threatening everything. In this video, we're not only going to be covering the fact that he's trying to cover his tracks for the end of Undisputed, but a very dark lawsuit that involves Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, and Joy Taylor, in addition to Charlie Dixon and Emmanuel Acho. So before we get to the content, we are less than 3,000 subscribers away from getting to 1 million subscribers, so make sure you subscribe and turn on our notifications to help us realize a milestone of a lifetime. And also bear in mind that everything that we're talking about in this lawsuit and in this video at this point are just strictly allegations. Now that we get all that out of the way, we've been dominating when we've been making picks for the NBA and the NFL on Prize Picks. If you haven't played Prize Picks before and you're really good at guessing player projections, you can make yourself a decent amount of money. I give away my picks on my Instagram story at The Flight Mike, and right now when you use my promo code Mikerophone and make an entry of $5 or more, you'll get a free $50. And thank you, Prize Picks, for the sponsor. Mike check 1212. What's going on, everybody? Ever since Skip Bayless officially got fired by Fox Sports 1, I personally just expected him to ride off into the sunset, enjoy retirement, and not really to hear from him ever again. But it seems like he just can't avoid the headlines. Now this brings us to where Skip is right now. Skip has still been posting all over Twitter because that's really all he can do now. But he recently appeared on Pardon My Take to discuss the split. And it's really surprising to see this because Skip Bayless probably cooked up one of the craziest lies we've ever seen.
In year 7, did we fray a little bit? Sure we did. But I fought for him to stay, and I don't know what happened between Shannon and the people upstairs because I was not privy.
Right.
But
Yeah.
he went before I went, you know, and it tore me apart.
Yeah.
I did not want him to go, and I told him the last day, I sat with him in his dressing room and I said, I envy you because you're gonna get to go do what I wanna do.
Right.
I still had a year left on my deal. And he got pushed out the back door and it tore me up. And I missed him.
And I think there are points here that he makes that are very honest, where Skip Bayless just doesn't understand when he takes things too far. I mean, again, this is a man that accused Troy Aikman of being gay in the 90s, where it was a big deal to be gay. But when he acknowledges the fact that the debates got a little bit too extreme sometimes, and sometimes it went slightly over the edge of competitive, to the point where they got mad at each other, it seems like Skip Bayless truly understands why they had to split up. Because in the mind of Skip Bayless, this was probably a necessary evil. Getting that type of emotion from Shannon Sharpe for talking all of that trash to Shannon Sharpe was probably necessary in order to get Shannon Sharpe to be emotional and to clap back at Skip Bayless. But personally, I don't think it was Fox's decision to move on from Shannon Sharpe. It was Skip Bayless's decision to move on from Shannon Sharpe, because otherwise he wouldn't have been bought out of his contract. Now, all of this was just the tip of the iceberg for Skip Bayless and all of Fox Sports, because a brand new lawsuit has just come out, and the allegations surrounding Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe, and even the executive vice president of Fox Sports is absolutely insane. So the plaintiff of this lawsuit is a woman by the name of Nushin Faraji, and I think the Joy Taylor aspect of this is a little bit crazier than the Skip Bayless aspect of this, so let's just jump into it. So this lawsuit takes place right before the very first episode of Undisputed, where Nushin Faraji met Joy Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Ms. Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-to-day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Joy Taylor told Nushin Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Ms. Taylor then befriended Nushin Faraji. So you guys already get an idea of where this story is about to go, man. I mean, husband husband staying in Miami, and Joy Taylor recently moved to Los Angeles to further her career, and this takes a pretty dark turn. The lawsuit continues to say that 2 months later, Joy Taylor asked Nushin to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Nushin arrived, she found Joy Taylor with an older man. As executive vice president, Charlie Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content and production at Fox Sports 1. Nushin, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Nushin Faraji asked who he was. Joy Taylor responded that he was just a friend.
I only have a friend. Come on.
So this lawsuit is kind of painting Joy Taylor as someone that is trying to do a little bit of career climbing, and it gets way worse over here. Following that night, whenever Nushin would meet with Joy Taylor for drinks or food, Charlie Dixon would either arrive with Joy Taylor or show up later in the night and leave with Joy Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, Nushin suspected that the pair were sleeping with one another. And although this concerned Miss Faraji, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, she kept her opinions to herself. Now, in June of 2016, while at work, Nushin Faraji noticed Charlie Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by this coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitedly that the guy who always buys her drinks was in the elevator. Joy Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it, and Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as both Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. In approximately July of 2016, word spread amongst Fox's employees about a new show that was going to be a big deal, as it would star both Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. It was also known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program called Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Now, Skip Bayless was vehemently against this, according to the lawsuit, stating that Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Nushin Faraji that he did not want Joy Taylor on the show, but Charlie Dixon was adamant that Joy Taylor should star. At first, Charlie Dixon arranged a dinner between Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. Probably my favorite part about the lawsuit is the fact that this woman came in a bunch of provocative clothing and Skip Bayless was completely unfazed by all of this. It says, when that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Miss Taylor, Charlie Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. Around August of 2016, Nushin attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband, and Mr. Dixon and his wife. The fact that Joy Taylor would allegedly go this far, bring her husband to have dinner with the person that she's having an affair with and his wife, is absolutely crazy work.
She belongs to the streets.
But luckily for us men over here, the husband kind of knew something was up. Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship, so after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Miss Taylor. Now, the story all in all is absolutely diabolical, but you might be wondering, how does Skip Bayless factor into this apart from what we mentioned from Joy Taylor's alleged career climbing? And it's the fact that Nushin Faraji was allegedly sexually harassed by Skip Bayless. Now check this out. A former Fox Sports hairstylist alleges in a lawsuit that a network executive used his position to sexually harass women, as well as that Skip Bayless touched her inappropriately and propositioned her for sex. Nushin Faraji, who says she worked at Fox Sports from 2012 through last August, made a series of allegations in a 42-page lawsuit obtained by Front Office Sports. In the lawsuit filed on Friday in Los Angeles, Faraji alleges that Dixon, the head of content for FS1, grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood when she relayed the encounter to Taylor. The Fox host allegedly told her to get over it, according to the suit. The lawsuit seeks class action status on behalf of Faraji and other non-exempt Fox employees working in California over the last 4 years. Faraji seeks unspecified monetary damages and a jury trial. After starting to work on the Undisputed Morning Show starring Bayless, the suit alleges that he began giving Faraji lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breasts. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Skip Bayless that she was not interested in him and did not date at work. She also claims that she told Bayless that she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in an effort to halt his advances. And I know these are just allegations, but the rest of the story is just insane. I mean, what Skip Bayless does next is diabolical. Check this out. Instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years, according to the suit. He allegedly offered Faraji $1.5 million to have with him and claimed that he could change her life. The suit also claims that Bayless accused Faraji of sleeping with Shannon Sharpe, his co-star on Undisputed. As the suit alleges, approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji responded, "Skip, stop, you have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead, and when Skip Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. This lawsuit also brings up the fact that Joy Taylor slept with Emmanuel Acho allegedly at the same time as Charlie Dixon, stating that in approximately February of 2020, Ms. Taylor asked Ms. Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Nushin arrived, she found Ms. Taylor with a man. This time, it was Emmanuel Acho. Ms. Faraji did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved.
Just got done with rehearsal for the new show Speak, and I gotta take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor. A woman, a black woman, daily show, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. It's hard to do, and Joy, you have done it, so congratulations. Looking forward to working with you, and hope y'all tune in 4:30 to 6 Eastern every day starting next week.
A few months after meeting with Mr. Acho at the lunch, Ms. Faraji noticed him in the hallway while at work. She would ask Ms. Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked at Fox. Ms. Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Ms. Faraji became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that she probably should not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon's a very powerful man that may become very angry. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. She explained that she was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. In approximately September of 2022, Joy Taylor would work on Speak, and Ms. Taylor requested Faraji to do her hair. It's just absolutely insane work. Well, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about this? Are you siding with Nushin? Are you siding with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe? Do you think this is a money grab, or do you think Nushin actually went through something? I'd like to hear what you have to say. Aside from that, I'm your boy Mike, and I'm dropping our mic until our next upload.